Mikey, we're up to you again for your next one.
All right, everybody.
All right. Your next one?
My next one is by Neil Young. It's called Old Man.
Oh,
A lot of classic rock when I was a kid. Like, classic rock was pretty much it for me. There used to be a classic rock radio station out of Pittsburgh. Me and my brother would always call and request songs and record them to cassette. But the host was called the Reverend. And he seemed cool as shit. Like, we loved the fucking Reverend. He used to be like, la la, the Reverend. And he would come on the radio. Oh, man. But yeah, I used to love Neil Young when I was a kid. I used to make mixtapes on cassette, and I remember always dubbing Neil Young songs and listening to them in my Walkman. Love Neil Young, man. You know, in this song, you know, I feel like I have a lot of my dad's traits. Good and bad.
Yeah.
Mostly bad. But, yeah, I really love this song. It hits me. Hits me somewhere inside.
I technically have never really heard this song before. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
Neil Young has been like I guess I've heard Neil Young, but never realized I've heard Neil Young. If that makes sense to you.
Makes sense. He's a household name.
So I guess like my folks would play some Neil Young. I know my dad liked Neil Young.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only song I really memorized from Neil Young, I sadly just recently heard. I think I heard like once before, didn't commit it to memory, and then I heard it in like Sons of Anarchy, and then I committed it to memory afterwards. And I think it's like that Hey Hey My song.
Mm-hmm.
That song, man, like when I first heard that and paid attention to what he was saying, I was like,
the chorus
shot through the heart.
The chorus in a song kind of reminds me of my. The chorus in a song kind of reminds me of my codependency, which might be a trait I picked up.
Oh, codependency. Whatever. Well, I have very little, but yes, this is a very good song. What's your next pick? You're up for this next.
My next pick, man. Great band, great song, great album. Nutshell by Alice in Chains.
Oh.
Unplugged.
You went with the acoustic version?
Yes, indeed.
Any reason why besides the
I like the acoustic.
of...
Like the acoustic version better than the original. More passion in the vocals, more intimate.
Oh, intimacy.
Lane Staley's voice, though.
His voice?
That fucking voice. I remember when I was a kid in the apartment I lived in, the guy that lived above me was a huge Alice in Chains freak, and I used to go up to his upstairs to his place. He had this little room called the Cave, and he'd always be fucking playing Alice in Chains, and that's when I first really started loving him.
My first love with Alice in Chains has to be, yes, go with the fact that I'm a weak-ass kid that blames his brother and sister for all his musical likings for the most part. Has to be Rooster.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that song.
Rooster was a really big hit whenever I was first actually starting to memorize music that I actually enjoyed. And I didn't know that Them Bones was also on the same album as Rooster. So I kept like skipping the first track, just going straight to Rooster. And one time when I forgot and I just hit play, I heard Them Bones for the first time. I was like, holy shit, these guys are awesome. Like, they were like, I don't know, it was something like I thought was missing in my life, was I needed something that was a little bit more like driven.
Yeah.
And that's what made me start to enjoy Alice in Chains. And that was also the start of me looking for other drive music like Korn and I think also around the same time I heard that song, I also started hearing Megadeth. Because I think the Megadeth was the more angry Metallica group. Like,
he was pissed because he got kicked out.
that's besides the point. I mean, you could chalk it up to that, but like if you would compare like the two albums like together at the, what was it, Symphony of Destruction, and then the Black Album came out, I have to say I was more of a Symphony of Destruction person whenever like the CDs were out, because Symphony of Destruction had a lot more like emotion and drive and wanted to kick you in the balls a lot more than the Black Album.
Here's a story. Whenever I was a kid, I'd always play football in the backyard with my brother and his friend.
Mm-hmm.
They would kick the ball off to me and then sing "We've Come to Snuff the Rooster," and they would just fucking plow me.
That seems mean.
But but man, this is a good song. If I can't be my own, I'd be better dead. That lyric right there.
Wow.
That lyric right there, man.
That is a pretty deep lyric.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm really drawn to that stuff.
Well, you're drawn to lyrics and whatnot, sir. My next one is going to blow your mind, in my opinion. My next song is Linkin Park, and I know how many people are already like, oh god, he picked a Linkin Park song. But no, it's called Wretches and Kings. It's from the Thousand Suns album. And this is my next number. And the reason I chose this one is this was during a time when I kept hearing like arguments between like old school Linkin Park fans and the people who like their newer stuff more were constantly arguing. And I was like, there's no difference. Like, you can just tell they're just getting older and making, you know, music. And this song, I feel, gripped the best of both worlds. That it was the new style of Linkin Park, what they were, like, then doing. And it still had that, like, old school sense of, like, what made you like Linkin Park in the beginning. And, yeah, they sound like a processed band that, you know, it's good for radio play. Like, they knew what they were doing when they came out. They were going for that goal, you know.
I love the 808, by the way, in this song.
Yeah, but it, like, this song fit so much in that scale that this song actually made people who were, like, constantly downgrading, like, new Linkin Park, being like, dude, have you heard Wretches and Kings? They're like, what song's that? And I played this for them. And they were like, holy shit, this song is awesome. And I'm like, yeah, dude, they haven't really changed. They're just getting older, man. Everybody goes through that phase of it's still them. It's just that now that they know more of what they like, they make a different sound. And that's what I felt this song was. It was that, you know, we're still as hard as we were, but this is us using our, like, new style with our old style.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to say about this?
When this album came out, man, I listened to it on repeat. I was going through some women shit at the time, and I just had this album, just rocking on repeat. I love this song too.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know what? This song is a fine mixture between old and new. I don't hate the new. I love this album.
Oh, I do too. Like, it took me a moment because, like, the first song, of course, was that Catalyst song. That was okay.
I love the Catalyst.
I liked the Catalyst on the CD. I hated the single for some odd reason. But I think it's because this whole CD plays like one gigantic long-ass track that if you listen to it from the very beginning to the very end, it's a lot better of a listening. You start to respect the songs more than if you would, you would take one song out of context and be like, oh, you should just listen to this one. And that's what I started telling people with this album, is that you should start just listening, like, from the beginning to the end of the album. Listen to it straight through. You will not be freaking dissatisfied with the whole thing.
It's indeed a good song.